What is up here, YouTube? Jigsaw0097 here today, bringing you another movie review. This one's a bit late. I'm actually going to do a couple movie reviews, probably either over just today and tomorrow, because I just want to talk about these movies and I've had time to digest them. I've seen them a couple times now, and I will be buying these on Blu-ray, so I feel like they're worth reviewing. This movie review will be about A Quiet Place. This movie came out last month, I think, back in April or March, the end of March, I believe. But this is a really good movie, guys. I've seen it 3 times now, so I feel like I can discuss it. It's only an hour and a half long, and it's just jam-packed with excitement. Like, it's one of the best thriller / horror movies I've seen in a while, because you're just on edge every second of this movie. I mean, there's not a single frame in this movie where you feel, okay, I'm comfortable, you know? The director, which is John Krasinski, he is, in case you guys don't know the name, he was Jim Halpert in The Office. Most people have seen that show, so I'm sure you know who that is. He's also been in like 13 Hours, which is a really awesome war movie, and a couple other things, but he really is awesome in this movie. So he directs and he co-stars, and Emily Blunt is also in it. She plays his wife. And then they've got these new kid actors. I'm not sure their names, but they were amazing in this movie as well, especially the girl that's deaf. She turned in a really good performance. I think this is like the first movie she's ever done, so she has a bright future if she gets roles like this. And interestingly enough, she's actually deaf in real life. John Krasinski actually wanted to get a deaf girl to play a deaf girl. He didn't want to like cheese it or anything. And it really helps her performance, you know, very believable, the struggles that she goes through in the movie. Keep in mind, this is going to be spoiler free. If I decide to do a spoiler video in the future, I'll make that to talk about the creatures in the movie, but I really think that you guys need to just go see this movie if you haven't, and even if you haven't seen it, wait for the Blu-ray to see it without spoilers, because this is a movie that you want to go into blind, because it's just got a lot of cool revelations. This movie reminded me a lot of Signs, if you guys have seen that, with Mel Gibson. One of my favorite movies of all time is Signs. I'd say it's probably in my top 5 favorite movies, but this movie is very similar in structure, because a lot of things happen that lead up to one final climax, and it's really awesome how it ties in that way. But basically, the synopsis of this movie is some unknown event has happened. These creatures have emerged on Earth. They don't really ever explain it. There's a lot of indirect storytelling in the movie, a lot of newspaper articles, things like that. But similar to Signs, you're just kind of observing this incident, whatever it is, apocalypse, I'm not sure, through the eyes of this one family, John Krasinski's family, which is him, his wife, and his 3 kids. Don't really want to tell you what happens, but yeah, it's just a little family, and they're just surviving together. And they don't really, like I said, they don't really go into detail of what happened, but there are these monsters that are only attracted to sound. And they've basically just killed off the entire population in this area, except for the people that have managed to outlive them and survive. They've learned that they're attracted to sound, and they changed their lives accordingly to live in this setting. They don't really go, like I said, they don't really go over if this is an apocalypse setting. The world still seems pretty lush. I mean, it doesn't seem like these things have like destroyed the planet or anything. They've just showed up, and people have to deal with them, and the people that haven't been able to have been killed. So, and also, they don't really go into if this is a worldwide event. It's just in this area, so you don't really know if this is just an area thing, like maybe these monsters are like indigenous to this area, like a mutation or something, or if they're like aliens or something again, there's a lot of environmental storytelling, and a lot of it is left up to interpretation, which is nice. I really like that when a movie doesn't insult your intelligence and lets you kind of decide what you think is going on, and that's something this movie does absolutely fantastically. John Krasinski, I'll just give a little bit, I guess. John Krasinski's character, he spends a lot of time in the basement of his farmhouse, and he's going over like news articles and stuff like that. He's trying to figure out a way to defeat these creatures and understand them more. And so a lot of the storytelling comes from that. That's really all I want to go into with the plot, though, guys. Like I said, go see it. This movie is filmed in almost absolute silence because of the subject matter, and that's why it's such a great thriller, because you're just like waiting for the loud parts to happen, but it's just silent. And so when those like jump scares or things, and there are jump scares, be warned about that. I'm one of those people that doesn't really like jump scares, but in this movie they were done very well and very effectively. And the silence of the movie adds to that. So yeah, it's from a sound perspective, top notch. Audio, dialogue, everything is nailed. This family has to speak in sign language a lot because of the creatures, obviously. Also, there's a good story plot to it. Their daughter's always been deaf, so they've actually learned how to speak sign language before this incident even occurred. So it's kind of cool that they didn't just like figure it out because of the creatures. You know, they already knew how to do it. And then, yeah, so the audio, great. The cinematography, also fantastic. John Krasinski shows how capable he is as a director. He's very good at just capturing the feel of a scene. He films it almost documentary style in some scenes, but not really. That's what I like about it. There's no real shaky cam here. It's just a lot like Signs. Like I said, it's very they hold shots a lot, and you see things, little hints of things, and it's really great. The beginning of the movie, especially when they're crossing a bridge, if you've seen the trailer, you know what I'm talking about. That scene in particular was done fantastic. So yeah. Let's see what else. I mean, that kind of covers it, guys. I really recommend seeing this movie. Like I said, it's only an hour and a half. It's a really quick ride, but it's great. It's one of the best movies that have come out this year. I think this movie and Annihilation are my favorites this year, and I will actually be doing a movie review on Annihilation. I might wait to do that one though until the Blu-ray comes out, just because I haven't seen it. I've only seen that one once, and it's not as fresh in my mind. But A Quiet Place I've seen, like I said, 3 times now. I don't normally see movies more than once in the theater, so that tells you something. But yeah, just wanted to make that movie review. Overall, guys, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. The reason I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, it's a spoiler that I don't want to tell, but there is one particular scene / decision that one of the characters makes that I just don't like. And if they didn't do it that way, the movie would have been pretty much flawless, because the movie's great, but this one scene just has me scratching my head like, why did this character have to do this? So that is the only reason that I'm docking it, because I think that the sound design is great, the cinematography is great, the art direction for the creatures and the overall world is great. I like the world building. I like the indirect storytelling aspects of the movie. That's actually like my favorite type of movie making. Like, if you're gonna tell a story, you don't need to tell it directly, just world build. Like, one of the best examples recently is Mad Max Fury Road, if you guys have seen that. That movie has this universe that it doesn't explain, because the movie's just about the car chase, but there's so many things implied in it and so many characters that you can kind of like put it together in your head, and it just makes the world more believable. And this movie does that as well. So yeah, guys, that's what I'm going to give it, a 9 out of 10. Have you guys seen A Quiet Place? If you have, comment down below. Try to keep it spoiler-free if you have to, but I probably will make a spoiler video at some point. Maybe when the Blu-ray comes out, I'll watch the special features and all that, but But yeah, guys, comment down what you thought, and also if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. This is primarily an Eagles channel during the season, but during the off season I want to do a lot of stuff like this, like movie reviews and other things like that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And then also, if you're a returning viewer, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. But as always, guys, this has been Jigsaw0097. I will talk to you all later.